Larry, very good to see you. We're doing a little myth busting today, the four biggest financial myths and the truth behind them. Some of the most common beliefs about money, retirement, and investing are simply myths, and believing in them can really hurt your financial future. So here are the top four. Number one, the market always goes up. How do you help clients stay realistic about market cycles while staying invested for the long term?
Aaron, a lot of people do realize they're close to retirement. They've seen some of the ups and downs of the market, but we just simply show them a chart like you're showing today to say, hey, the market does always go up if you look back over the last 50 years. The issue is that if you're in that red zone of retirement, that last 5, 7 years of retirement, if you have one of these Black Mondays or dot-com bubble, with the crisis in 2008, COVID, all those things we see here, that it could certainly derail your retirement if you're too heavily invested. So you got to let them know that long term, yes. Short term, no. We've got to prepare for the bad days with some sort of volatility buffers in between there.
Mm-hmm. All right. Myth number two, the 4% rule for retirement withdrawals. Is that rule still reliable? Is there one number that is?
Wouldn't that be great, Aaron, if there was one rule that fit for
So
everybody?
much easier that way.
It'd be awesome. So, I find that as, it all depends. It depends on your particular situation. That's why it's so important to meet with someone who uses all the different tools, whether it's, taxes and your withdrawal rates and your individual desires for your lifestyle and how much money you have. There's times where that will work very well and maybe for a year or two, or maybe even 5% withdrawal. There's times you may have to slow that down and pull that back a little bit.
Okay. Myth number three, my taxes will be lower in retirement. Why might retirees end up spending more than they were planning?
A lot of times because the tax system is not as linear as we think it is.
Mm,
We've been told that. I remember that when I was 20 years old, that, your taxes are going to be lower in retirement, but that's not true. I mean, all of my clients could attest to, like, well, wait a minute. It's only lower if I'm living on a whole lot less money. And I don't know a whole lot of people that want to plan to live on a whole lot less money when they're retired. So there's some backdoor taxes, whether it's IRMA with Social Security or, your Medicare, whether it's provisional income on Social Security being pulled over, that no one talks about that. I mean, so there's just a lot of unknowns that where taxes generally are not lower in retirement.
hmm And myth number four, I don't need life insurance once I retire. Why would someone need life insurance in retirement?
To me, Aaron, there's so many reasons there that someone might need life insurance. I mean, we generally, even when we do retiring, when we start to think about retirement, usually a big part of our portfolio is our Social Security.
Right.
Many people have 1 million, 2 million, $2 million in Social Security, and they're planning on husband and wife, having that amount of money. If they lose one of those, if we had a premature death, we may have six, seven, $800,000 just in the Social Security bucket that doesn't get to go to that
Yeah.
spouse and
Good
or the
point.
kids. That
hmm
could certainly put a hurt on the retirement portfolio. And there's some other ways to use that as well for legacy, or if we're not going to spend all that IRA money, there's a lot of reasons why life insurance might be a good fit in retirement.
Great. Well, it's interesting, again, Larry, to talk through these myths. Perhaps somebody is listening to these and recognizing that relying on these myths was part of their plan. So if they want to come to you to make sure that they're on track to, for retirement, to get through retirement, what's the best way to reach you?
Aaron, they can call our office number, 615-216-1048, or they can go to our website and log in for an appointment there. And that's at sfawealth.com.
Great. Larry, thank you.
Thank you, Aaron.